Last March, my friend Harry and I went to Siurana for a week. We thought of perhaps going to El Chorro or Torrodillar, but we had so much fun last year that we thought that we would postpone that for 2025. Siurana is one of those places that just take your breath away. You have more than a lifetime of climbing, the rock quality is great, the routes tend to be rather exposed and airy, and the surroundings are beautiful. Both Harry and I had different ideas of what we wanted to do during this week. Harry wanted to do as much as possible and try his luck to onsite his first 7A. Me on the other side, I wanted to either go big or go home, so my idea was to try Ramadan, a route that was originally graded 8B and now is considered 8A+, and it was going to be a mission to climb, but I was down for a challenge. On the first day of the trip, we flew into Barcelona and we had a short evening session when we arrived at Siurana, in Can Toni Gros, which is an area where we had never been before. On the second day, we went to the valley area where I had my first session in Ramadan. Ramadan is a 35-meter monster route that consists of a relatively easy start into a good rest and then a tough and short boulder problem that goes around 7B or V8. After this is very sustained and you have a 7C or so route to the top. The goal of this day was to get on the route and see if I could do the moves or not, to get an idea of where I stood with the route. After a couple of tie-ins, I was happy to do all the moves, including the cracks, so I was pretty chuffed about it. Right, day one on the approach, Ramadan. It feels quite hard, but I did all the moves. So that was the goal of day one. So tomorrow, hopefully, I'll be able to work them. But yeah, I'm hopeful that it can go, but it's gonna be a proper fight. On the second day on the route, I did some links and I had the route in 3 different parts. So I thought that after this, I will have a rest day and then gain some skiing back. In the meantime, between the belays, Harry did manage to onsite his first 7A, which was a route called Brigadistak, and right after he onsited his second 7A route called Lo Dejé Todo Blanco, which is on its right hand side.
This is one of my favourite tracks.
Tune!
I don't have to stay mute. I can talk all the time.
I believe on the 4th day of the trip, while I had a rest day, we went back to Can Toni Gros, where we went on the first day, as Harry wanted to give a red point to another 7A route, which was pretty much down to a techie boulder problem. Anyway, I'll let you watch the little interview we made about it and watch the scent footage. Yeah, what's this route you're going to try now? What's the name?
That's a good question. It's a Catalan name, Les Quittes, something like that.
And yeah, how is it good? What do you like about it? What do you think that makes it 3 stars?
Yeah, it's a nice route. You get going on some good holds, putting in good pockets. You can get established, get into a bit of a flow. 18 meters long, so not massive for Siurana, but like,
it lets you climb at first on like easy terrain and then...
Yeah, pretty steady terrain.
Does it have any good rests?
Yeah, so you get some good climbing for the first 8 meters or so. Nice little rest just beneath this groove, and then comes the crux. So you've got a kind of like average rest with a bit of like a slopey undercling. You can shake out a little bit, and then you've got to come into this groove on poor holds and do a big move to a Gaston with the right hand off poor feet. And then clip off that, it's a little bit run out, and then the top out is easy but super run out, just like huge rockovers, really high feet rockovers with tiny holds. And yeah, just keep your head cool and Bob's your uncle.
Nice. Well, let's see. Good luck.
Cheers, mate. Listo, Chris.
Ale, venga. Con todo. Buena. Venga. Ale. Venga, que lo tienes. Venga, Ale. Come on, Harry. Ya estás. Venga.
Come on!
After the day Harry sent his route, I had to have a forced second rest day, as it rained a lot. We still tried to head to the crag, but on that day it was a definite no.
Chove chuva, chove sem parar. Chove chuva, chove sem parar. Pois eu vou fazer uma prece pra Deus Nosso Senhor, pra chuva parar de molhar o meu divino amor, que é muito lindo, é mais que o infinito.
On the next day, the rain stopped and we had some windy conditions that made the rock bone dry, so we went again to the Ramadan area. At this point, on my third day on the route, I thought that I had it pretty much assimilated, so I decided to go and give it some red point burns. Here I did make it to the cracks, but I fell off. It was good though to climb through the first section and at least fall on the cracks. However, when I went to try the second half of the route, then I realized how many subtleties I wasn't aware of. So after this, I spent the rest of the day working on the microbeta, drawing tick marks, so on and so forth. I didn't feel ready to give it more red point burns, and at this point it was coming to the end of the trip, so I had to be tactical about my efforts and about my skin. The fourth day on the route, I spent it basically red pointing it up to the cracks and then falling from it. And I did feel like I was hitting a bit of a wall until in one of those attempts I found a little foothold that I could use to make the cracks somewhat easier. So despite all the effort invested on what it looked as though hitting a wall, I still got away with a little improvement or microbeta that improved my chances of sending the route. On the fifth and last day on the route, I finally made it through the cracks to then fall off a few moves after because a foot popped. This happened just before getting to a small jug where you can shake out the pump and get ready for the second half. I was gutted. It did feel like I had it in me to give it a proper send go from there because I wasn't pumped or I wasn't powered out, but you never know. I would have maybe fallen off a few moves after, or I would have got summer fever just on the top slab, but in any case this felt like a proper breakthrough. It made me realize that it was possible and that I had it in me to send the route, but of course that is one thing, and the other thing, which is quite different, is to actually send the route. So perhaps it was a bit ambitious of mine to try to send this route in a week. Anyway, just looking down at my hands, I could quickly see that it was kind of game over for that trip. I did try the route once or twice more, but I got nowhere as close to do the crux, as the tape in my fingers made it impossible for me to pull from the sharp crimps. I will have to come back a bit stronger, fitter and wiser next time, and perhaps give myself a couple of weeks, but nevertheless it was great to be able to try hard in such a beautiful place together with my friend Harry.
Una tortilla española.
Joder, muy bien.
Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this vlog. Make sure to comment, like and subscribe if you want to support my work, and I'll see you guys next time.